Hello, and welcome to Health Matters. My name is Larry Williams, and I'm your host. Today we have Mr. Jay Foreman with us, who's chairperson of the Foreman Foundation. Jay, welcome to Health Matters.
Oh, thanks for having me.
Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself? I think many probably know who you are, but probably don't know you in this role as head of the Foreman Foundation. But go right ahead.
Yeah, most people know me from my days on the football field, long time ago.
Back
in the early '90s, okay. And I was fortunate enough to play 8 years in the NFL. And upon retiring, I was the vice president of a small medical device company, which I just stepped away from, and decided to put all my efforts into the Foreman Foundation. And so I've been the chairman, the CEO, and the partner of trying to build the Foreman Foundation. And what we do is we try to raise funds and awareness for diabetes and try to educate people on how to live a healthy lifestyle, but then also to bring some awareness and get people to understand if you can live a healthy lifestyle earlier in your life, it will help you with longevity, but then also help you hold diabetes off if that is in your future as well.
When was the Foreman Foundation formed? Was it here in Lincoln, or was it back in Carolina?
Yeah.
Maybe a little history about that.
It was formed here in Lincoln. It's something I always wanted to do, but I felt like I didn't have the time or the energy to do it while I was out there expending all my time and energy on the football field. But then I made my home here in Lincoln and formed it here, and I got my certification in 2013, actually a week after the government lockout was finished. So then that was right around Thanksgiving. We held our first event right around the Super Bowl, the Bowling for Diabetes. We raised about $6,000 and we donated to the Heart Ministry in Omaha. And then we held our gala in 2014, which we raised around $12,000, and we donated to the Heart Ministry here in Lincoln, and then also the Clinic with the Heart here in Lincoln as well.
Sure. Why this interest and passion about diabetes?
Well, you know, if you know about Jay Foreman, you know that I had a pretty famous dad, Chuck Foreman, who hopefully is on his way to the Hall of Fame, and everybody would just assume that he was my hero. But my main hero was my grandfather, Francis Foreman, and he unfortunately he passed away with complications my senior year in college from diabetes, and it was something that I felt was unfair to me. He didn't get to watch me at all, just from losing his vision and obviously losing his health. Played college football, and then obviously wasn't able to watch me play professional. And I felt that you know, even though he had the proper insurance and the ability to see the doctors, I just didn't think that he was educated enough, and I wasn't as well. And I just it sent me into a tailspin, but I always felt like I wanted to maybe do something to help as many people as I can, whether it's 1 to 1,000 or 10,000, be educated, and then have some services through grassroots organizations to stay healthy. So it affected my family, as it does a lot of African American families throughout the nation, very closely for me. I lost an uncle 2 years ago to complication diabetes. Of course, I lost my grandfather and my great aunt as well, and my dad and he calls himself my favorite uncle, Uncle Francis. He's a type 2 diabetic. So I always tell people I guess I'm a type 2 in waiting, but I'm going to fight it as long as I can. But you know, as time has passed, I think I've been trying to educate myself on a day-to-day basis and on a week-to-week basis, and you meet more people and you come across more information. It's actually exciting because there's going to be more medicine. There's going to be more ways to try to hold it off, and I want to try to spread the word as much as possible.
Okay. What does it mean for you? As you're saying, you're trying to fight it off, and you know it runs in the family. I too am a type 2 diabetic myself, and so I'm taking medicine and checking my blood sugar content. But what does that mean for you in trying to stave it off?
Yeah, I think, for me, the best workout I can do is push myself away from the table. I always try to tell people to be more active and eat less. And when you do eat, you have to eat, obviously portion control is big, but then also eat the right things. And it's something everybody thinks just because you were a professional athlete, a college athlete, and grew up in an athletic family, that you know exactly what to eat. But really, to be honest with you, when you're out on your own, being a father, a businessman, and then just being living outside of the structure of a college football team and an NFL football team, where they told you what to eat, how to prepare it, and prepared your meals for you. Now you're on your own. Now you have to cook for yourself, and you have to shop for yourself. And it was something it took me about 5 to 6 years to really understand a true diet, and then also how certain foods, ingredients affect me physically. And really, to be honest with you, sugar and flour is something that it has been very addictive, for a lot of people. But for me, I finally realized why it was making me sluggish and how it affected my body. And obviously, too much of that can lead to type 2 diabetes as well.
Yeah, yeah. Let's talk a little bit about some of the events that you've been involved in over the last couple of years. You mentioned the gala, I think, that you had up in Omaha. Maybe you can talk about who was there, what happened. I think you already mentioned how much you raised, but what did you think was accomplished from that event up in Omaha?
Oh, it was our first one, and of course, we had some of my old teammates there to try to attract some people, but we had a lot of friends and family. We had over 250 people there. We raised a total gross of almost $25,000, and we were able to donate over half of that. And so it was a really good for the first one. I was excited. I was probably more nervous for that than I ever was for a national championship game, to be honest with you. But we were really excited about it. It's the first one that we're going to have, or that we had, and we're going to have one every year. I've also really, to be honest with you, to go even back to when I was playing, every city that I was in for every team, I was always involved with the American Diabetes Association, and now it includes Buffalo, Houston, New York City, and New Jersey for the Giants, and also San Francisco. So I always wanted to be involved in some form or fashion, and they really used my persona or my name a lot, but I really learned a lot. I learned about putting on events. I learned about diabetes itself and how to reach as many people as I can. So when I was able to start my own foundation, my nonprofit, I think that helped me out a lot and helped me put on our first event, along with the great people that volunteered and helped me as well.
And then also you've been involved with some more, what I would say, with some events here in Lincoln. Maybe you can talk a little bit about those events that you were involved in. Yeah,
I've been trying to represent the Foreman Foundation with the community health charities and speak on their behalf, not only for the Foreman Foundation but American Diabetes Association as well, and the community health charities. So it's almost 3 in 1. At different events, it almost seems like on a monthly basis I'm able to go out and tell people about all 3 of the nonprofits and how we all are pushed together, along with all the other charities in Lincoln, and get people to donate not only to community health charities but to individual ones as well, because in that way they can really see where their money goes and how we're able to use those funds to educate people, to provide services on every single level, not outside of just type 2 diabetes testing, but then also helping people with their teeth cleaning, just regular health checks, blood pressure, and that's something that's tied to diabetes as well. And so it's been fun. It's a lot of hard work. It's educational, but I like it reaching as many people as possibly as I can.
What does the future hold for the Foreman Foundation? Where do you see you going with the Foreman Foundation?
Oh, in the short term.
Short term and long term.
Yeah, short term. We're going to have our second annual gala here in Lincoln, because I think that my presence here kind of started in Lincoln. I think Omaha was a little bit easier just because there have been other events held there before. But I'm really excited to have our first one September 3rd. We're going to have it down at the Holiday Inn, and then we're going to have a golf tournament the next day to raise some funds and awareness as well. And then we have grassroots plans to expand it to different parts of the United States, so preferably in Minneapolis and Houston, where obviously I'm from, and then also made my name probably the biggest as far as football, and spread the word that way, because Houston, I think 2 or 3 years ago, was voted to the fattest city in the United States. So Houston? I think Houston, Texas. There's a lot of good food down there, and there's a lot of people. So I think they're up there in the running. So I'm excited to where we can go. We're going to still hold a lot of events here in Nebraska. We're going to have another bowling event around Super Bowl weekend, our second annual Bowling for Diabetes, and we're going to do that here at the 48th Street location for the bowling center. So I'm excited about that, and I'm also going to hold a football camp June 13th here in the short term, right about in a couple weeks, up in Omaha Scott Catholic, and that's going to be, all those funds are going to go to the Clinic with the Heart and the Heart Ministry in Omaha and Lincoln, respectively.
And it could be that this program might be shown past or before some of those dates, but if people want to know what's going on with the Foreman Foundation, where can they go? Is the website?
Yeah, on the website, foreman-foundation.com, which is we're going to have our both weekly and monthly up-to-date event charts or calendar. But then also we're on Twitter, so it's Foreman, Foreman FNDN. That's our Twitter handle, so that's updated pretty much every day. So we're sending out articles, educational articles, both I call them serious and non-serious articles, and we were covering a lot of things. Obviously, we would tweet out some stuff about the Husker football team, but we try to reach as many people as we can, everyday people, because sometimes when you're first diagnosed as a type 2, or you think you're going to be diagnosed as a type 2, some people tend to run and hide from it. We want to bring it out to light and let people understand it's okay. There's tons of people out there that are either diagnosed or undiagnosed type 2 diabetics, or even hereditary type 1. But you can live a healthy life and a long life if you educate yourself, exercise, and obviously try to keep your stress level as low as possible.
Okay. We're about out of time here, but before we say goodbye to the audience here, what's the one thing that you would want folks to know here in Lincoln about the Foreman Foundation and about your own personal experiences with diabetes?
Well, it hits home, and first and foremost, the Foreman Foundation is here to stay. So it's not just a fly-by-night. So it's something that we're going to be working on, obviously daily, but then as yearly, we're going to try to expand it and grow as big as we can. But my personal experience is something that I've lost 14 pounds this year, so I still have 7 more to go. So I want to challenge people to eat right and exercise as much as physically that they can. I'm not able to physically work out, not even close to how I did as a football player, but I'm able to eat right. I'm able to eat the right foods at the right time of the day, and obviously stay away from the sugar. So I want to challenge everybody in Lincoln to be more active and see how fit they can become, because I've taken upon myself since January to drop 13 to 14 pounds, depending on the day and the time. And so I'm very proud of that, and I want to keep going.
Okay. Anything else you'd like to share?
No, that's it. Just keep the lookout and check the website and the Twitter, foreman-foundation.com, because we're going to have a lot of events coming up in the short term and through the end of 15, and also through the beginning of 16 as well.
All right. Thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule to be with us today and to talk about the Foreman Foundation, your own personal experiences with it, and what you're doing to make sure that everybody understands and knows about diabetes in our community. Okay?
Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot. Well, that concludes our program today at Health Matters. I, being a type 2 diabetic, kind of understand what Jay is talking about, so I urge all of you to learn more about diabetes. Also watch your diet, watch your weight, and exercise. Well, until next time, that's Health Matters for today. I'm Larry Williams, and thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time. Take care.